Hello viewers, welcome to yet another episode of the Mental Health Show on Faraja TV. I hope you enjoyed the previous episode, which was a very deep story, and I hope you picked some lessons, and I hope you shared with whoever might need it. Today I bring you another exciting guest. I bring you a story, another story, because I love stories, as you know. Everybody loves stories. But this particular story is an interesting story because it's about anxiety. Yes. How did this person cope with anxiety and what caused the anxiety? Because, other than it being called a white people problem, it's also an African problem. So, this my guest today is going to introduce, I don't normally introduce my guests, he's going to introduce himself and talk about himself. Me, I know him as a boy from Kisoro. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You can introduce yourself to the
Thank you. All right. Hi, my name is Muhima. I'm a lawyer, a writer, and I work with Kao Sports as a social media manager. Yeah.
Welcome, Mike.
Thank you.
He's a social media guru. The very famous.
Not exactly.
He's how they call them? Twileb. He's a Twileb. And I'm personally excited because I'm starstruck.
Please don't be.
So, tell me a story. I just saw hashtags on Twitter. Free Mike Muhima, free Mike Muhima. And I'm very curious what caused the free Mike Muhima and then what was actually happening to Mike.
Okay.
Then, how does Mike feel about all this?
Sure. All right. Let's start from the beginning. It was around, I think, November of last year, November 2020. The aftermath of the nominations.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, presidential nominations. So it was after all that chaos with the Amoriats and the Bobby Wines, being forced back and stuff like that. Yeah. So during the nomination day, yes. So like everyone else, I was following the proceedings on Twitter.
Yeah, sure.
So once I heard about because that day, I think in the morning, there was a scuffle between Amoriat and some security operatives, and somehow it ended up with his shoes going missing.
Yeah.
And then later that day, later in the afternoon, Bobby Wine was forced back home.
Sure.
Yeah, because I think they didn't want him to campaign immediately afterwards. So what I did on Twitter, I took to Twitter and then I used a picture of police spokesperson Fred Enanga, and then I captioned it, quote, "We've arrested Mr. Chagulanyi as part of investigations into the whereabouts of Mr. Amoriat's shoes," end quote. It was just meant to be a humorous tweet.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that's where the entire thing started. Like, obviously the tweet gained traction. It's not only on Twitter but off Twitter because screenshots were shared and stuff. So and personally, I thought that was like the end of it all. It was just going to it was just going to be a meme for that day, and it would just boil down from there. Then a few months later, I think in early Feb of this year. Of this year. Yeah, it's been a really long year. It's been a really long year. So, Feb of this year. I don't know why it took them so long, but
Oh my God.
I don't know why it took them so long, but Feb of this year, I was arrested. I was picked up from home by security operatives and
in a drone.
in a drone. Yes, in one of those smaller cars.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't like the big ones, it was just a saloon car, yes. So I get picked up from home, and then I'm driven straight to CID headquarters. Yes.
That point where you saw a strange car, strange people you don't know coming to pick you up.
Oh, okay.
What was that?
There's so much that went on
In
between.
your mind?
You knew within that. I didn't know they were coming, of course, but there was so much coordination that went on. They actually used the national water employee who was working on our water, who had worked on our water a few weeks prior. Yeah, so they used him as a sort of a what's the word? They used him as a bait. Used him as bait to bait me out, and once they did, they grabbed me, and they took me to the car.
Inside the car.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Of course, I was scared. I was definitely. I thought like the first few seconds, I thought I was dreaming. You know that phrase. It's okay. That phrase is used around. Is people play fast and loose with the words. I thought I was dreaming, but I really thought I was dreaming. Yes. So yeah. After until my mind came to the realization that, oh my God, I'm in trouble. I've been arrested, and everyone in the community saw it because it was it was a Friday evening, and there was a lot of activity going around. So yeah, everyone saw it. At least that kind of factored in to how things went down, because I don't know if maybe if it had happened with very few or no one at all seeing what had happened, I don't know, who knows where I would be today. Anyway, so yeah, I was taken to. There were 3 men in the car with me. 2 sitting obviously in the middle seat, 2 sitting beside me, the other sitting in the passenger seat, and obviously the driver.
So you didn't ask? Where you
I did ask, and the guy in the passenger seat, he pulled out his phone and showed the photo of me, that photo that was circulating around with the hashtag. He showed it to me, and up top there was a caption, "Wanted." So then I realized that they have the right person.
Of Enanga.
No, it wasn't the tweet. It was just a picture of me.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was just a picture of me, and there's a tiny caption, "Wanted," and the top. I think the top right hand side of the screen.
Did you wonder what they wanted you for?
Once they showed me the picture, I kind of figured it out. I just wasn't too sure, but I think the moment I became really, really sure of what they had got me for was when I was taken to CID HQ in Bukoto, and the gentleman, the officer that was asking me questions, he was kind of hinting on that fact, on the fact that I had annoyed someone via social media. So yeah, I could not think of anyone else, but I could not think of any other moment but that, and it turned out to be so. Yeah.
Okay, so they take you up to the police station?
Yeah, they take me up to CID, they interrogate me for I think an hour.
Wait, you picked up from home?
Yeah.
Did you have your phone on you?
Yeah, I had my phone on me, but it was confiscated, yes.
You don't ask people where they're taking you?
No.
You just know that you're wanted?
Yes.
And they're taking you in an interrogation? What was going on in your mind?
Fear. Definitely fear. Definitely fear. Definitely fear, and a sense of what's going to happen next. But then I think after a few minutes afterwards, it descended from fear to, what's the word, nonchalance. Whatever happens.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I said, it's already happening, so there's nothing that I can do about it. So whatever happens. I don't know how my mental state went from fear to a state of kind of not caring, but that's how fast it
was an
descended.
extreme fear.
Yeah.
You know how you can being extreme pain to the point of I'm not gonna feel pain. That's
exactly. I was feeling numb.
feeling numb. You were numb.
Exactly.
You're like, okay, all right. You get into the interrogation room. What questions were they asking you?
They were asking me, okay, do you know why you're here? I told them I had an idea, but I told them no, obviously, because I wanted them to tell me. Yeah. So the guy in charge of interrogation, the guy interrogating me was like, you're in a lot of problems right now. Like those are not the exact words he used, but that's the way I'm trying. That's the way I'm paraphrasing it. Yeah, he said that you're in a lot of problems now, and well, yeah, that's like they just kept asking me question after question. Well, do you hate the government? Do you those such political questions, and the more they asked, the more I kind of confirmed what they were alluding to. Yeah. Then I think I think it was I think there was a printout on the desk, and I saw the tweet. Like I could see the tweet, but it was printed out. So then that's when I fully understood. Yes, that I was in for that particular tweet. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Then from there.
Yeah. So from there, I waited for about 30 minutes. Then it was coming to 7 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah. It was coming to 7 p.m. and what I was told to enter the car, and we were taken to I think three or four other people were taken to.
There's no form of torture. Nothing.
No, none. I think the worst thing they told me to do was like remove my shoes.
Oh.
Yeah, as is the norm. Yeah. So we're taken to SIU, Special Investigations Units. It's a place in Chireka. It's like a sort of barracks, but with officers as well for, I guess, the interrogations unit as it's called. So yeah, we arrived at around 7:30. It was getting dark. Yeah. So I was taken into, we were all taken into like different cells. One was taken into cell A, I was put into B. There was a lady with her, she was put into C. She was put into cell C. Yeah. So as I entered, it began to dawn on me that I'm in jail now. Like, yeah. I mean, I already knew that I was in trouble, but I thought they were going to, just interrogate me and let me go. But then once I heard them saying that we are going to Chireka, then I knew that I was going to spend at least a few days that side.
You are.
Yeah.
They haven't called you. Don't know where your parents are.
Yeah.
You don't know any of your family. You don't have friends. You're seeing strangers. Places.
Exactly. From place to place.
Again, I can't ask how you felt because I know you were.
Yeah, it was numbness, but then also later on it dawned of I just started realizing that wow, I really am in trouble. I'm really in prison right now. Yeah. So it was.
The cell you were there?
Yeah. No, I think there were about 8 or 9 others.
Bullied in the cell?
Not exactly. Maybe apart from them asking me to stand up and say something about myself and where I'm there, that was it. And then also they laid out like ground rules and stuff, and they showed me around. I guess that was it.
Strangers again.
Yeah, that was.
Oh.
But
how did that make you feel?
Of course it was. It was scary. It was scary, definitely.
Oh, you were here in prison. And for me, with the stories I know about prison, and I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably, what you hear does not probably differ too much from what actually happens. Anyway, yeah, so I introduced myself to the rest of the prisoners, and they showed me around, and then afterwards we had supper. I mean, and I had to eat because I just wanted to get acquainted with the situation before like it would be forced upon me. You get, yeah. So I just had to get acquainted with everything as soon as possible. Exactly. I was conditioning my mind to the fact that, well, you're here for a while, so you might as well get used to it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you ate food and slept?
And tried to sleep. There were mattresses. Oh. Yeah, there were mattresses, yeah.
Mattresses in Uganda?
In Ugandan jails.
Oh.
Yeah. There were. Yeah, so I was there for 6 days.
In the same cell?
Yeah, in the same cell. I think the only time I would have a chance to, move out was when either was the time I was summoned to record a statement on Tuesday, then the following week, and then to again record a charge and cautions sheet, and yeah, that was pretty much okay. There was also that time on Monday when again was summoned and I was to get my issues because like they kept our belongings in a room somewhere. So
you were in yellow uniform?
No, it wasn't uniform, like the same clothes that I was arrested in, because it's not like a fully fledged prison. It's just like a detention center, or a jail of sorts. Yeah, so some on Monday, like around 4 of us were summoned to get out, and were put into cars and taken back to CID Bukoto. Now for me in my head I thought maybe they're going to ask me a few more questions and tell me to go back home.
In your mind, I'm a prisoner, and this is my place now.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Did you make a few friends in prison?
Yeah, I mean,
6 days.
Yeah, I mean 6 days is a lot of time, and especially if you're locked in for hours and hours doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously you have to get acquainted with the rest of the inmates.
Is it true that they cane people in prison?
Not where I was.
Okay.
Not where I was.
Okay.
And I mean, when you're in there, you're obviously in there because you're in there because someone has faulted you for doing something wrong. You've been arrested because you've apparently done something wrong. So for you to get in there and then try to misbehave, it doesn't really help matters. You just have to be on your best behavior.
Nice. Okay, so day 1, day 2. You're not thinking about home?
I am, of course. If you're not eating, sleeping, or talking to the inmates, you do so much thinking. Like there is so much time. You can literally feel every second ticking away. Yeah, because there are no clocks, there are no watches. All you have to tell time is day and night. Yeah, and it's not like there were windows in there. It was just like a tiny sort of vent. There were 2 tiny vents. They were long, but they were very narrow, and they were barred. So.
And you guys would take turns and who goes on the vent?
No, like they were right there. Like you could see them from wherever. You could just that the view was limited. The view was limited. Like you could only see enough to tell what time of the day it was, either day or night. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Did you start? I think now you appreciate more that you're outside. You're like.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Of course, yeah. Freedom is a very underrated. It's a very underrated concept. But yeah, once you're in there, you really begin to appreciate. You really begin to envy those who are out there. Yeah.
Okay. Did you feel like maybe by helping me that they can't reach me?
Yeah. That's how I felt. That's indeed how I felt. But like I really couldn't I really couldn't do much about it. So like,
Numb.
yeah, I really couldn't do much about it because again they didn't know that I was here. They didn't know I was in Chireka. All they knew is that I was arrested and that I was taken to CID Bukoto. But that was it. It was, I think, on Tuesday. Yeah, it was on Tuesday when I saw someone from my side. Yeah, and that was my boss Joseph from Chaos. But yeah, he was the one who came to visit me first, and yeah, he basically confirmed to everyone else that I was okay. Yeah.
How did you feel when you saw it?
Yeah, I was relieved. I was definitely relieved that I knew that at least now that they know I'm here, at least the process of getting me out would be is ongoing. Yeah, so that gave me hope. That gave me hope. But it wouldn't be another 2 days until like I was legitimately let go. Yeah.
Okay, so he told you, he made that known to you, that after 2 days you will have.
No, like when I saw him, it was Tuesday, but it was not until Thursday evening that I got to know. But then I knew that since he has seen me, and since like he knows where I am now, at least now they're trying to let people of my side know that I'm okay, and that. And maybe then the process of releasing me will quicken.
Yeah, quicken. Okay, that's amazing. That's like, as I think of it, take me from this.
Yeah. That's I really wanted to. But then
catch back me in your bag.
Exactly, but at least, and I think that day, that Tuesday, I told him I wanted to speak to my mom, and I spoke to her. She was obviously very distraught, very sad.
I know.
But at least I told her that I was okay. At least I set her mind at ease.
I think it was 7 days, 6.
6 days, yeah. 6 days is a lot of time.
Yes, I don't know. They've been carried in a car.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Okay, so after your boss coming to see you, and maybe processes went on, you see you're leaving, or you left and went back home.
Yeah.
And then they came for you the second time?
Yeah. Now that one happened in May. It happened in May during one of my bond visits. Yes.
This May?
Yes, this May.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like when I was released, I was obviously required to go for bond at CID Chibuli. Like whenever I was summoned, I was required to go. So I kept on going, and there was really nothing new that they were telling us with regards to, like, especially my phones and how long.
They confiscated your things.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So they confiscated them. So basically, that was pretty much the main reason as to why I was reporting for bond very religiously. So so it was May, I think. I've forgotten the exact date, but it was in mid-May, yeah, on a Friday. So it was a perfectly normal bond visit, and then the officer in charge of my bond, he pulls up with a court file and says, you've been summoned to court today. Yeah. So and from then on I knew that they were trying to catch me off guard so that I could go back in again.
I think because you're a law student and maybe you knew these things. Once the file was shown to us, I knew that was their play, because A, it was a Friday, B, it was past midday, so basically time was almost over. And
see, they knew that it was going to take me. I had very little time to prepare. We had very little time to prepare, and so yeah, they basically knew what they were doing. So yeah, I was taken to Buganda Road Court, and when we appeared in front of the judge, we obviously applied for bail, and I had sureties, but then one of the sureties didn't have a national ID, an original national ID with him. So because of that, the judge said, well, I have to remand you to CPS until Wednesday of the following week.
What? You went back to prison?
Yes. So that was an extra 5 days.
I think I saw that on
days.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Mike was today picked up again.
Yeah.
Free Mike. I was following on Twitter. And I thought it was my dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was that was it. That was what was happening.
You're in a real prison, CPS.
It was pretty much kind of the same as Shireka, but worse because there were so many more people. Yeah, there were so many more people in there, and it was like one big room.
How was your relationship with your family at that time?
It was okay. It was good. Yeah, because
were not scared or not.
They were not okay. All I know is they were very supportive. Yeah. They were very supportive. My friends were also supportive. My workmates were supportive. Everyone around me was supportive. So that kind of helped with
Nobody
that kind
was
of
blaming you for this.
No.
Great,
no one was
nice.
blaming. Yeah.
When you're in an environment, everyone is blaming you for what you do.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. So yeah, thankfully they also understood that none of this was right, and there was really no reason for me to have gone through all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so you're taken to court and released.
Yeah.
And this time around you granted bail again.
Yeah.
How did you feel to have gone to prison twice?
I mean, it was. I feel like at that point it was kind of normal. I don't want to.
What? Okay, I get you.
Yes, exactly. Like I was already used to the whole thing of prison. So when I got out, okay, it wasn't as much. I was more relieved than happy. I was more relieved than happy because, in those in that whole during that whole bail session, the whole bail application session, like you can't really know what the judge is going to ask for as a requirement, and we didn't know, like, apart from like the IDs and what, we didn't really know whether what we had was sufficient for the judge to deem me, to get me bail. Yeah, so yeah, it was even in the courtroom it was really, really scary. But then once it was granted, obviously it took a bit of time to process the entire thing. But yeah, once the judge said, you've been granted bail, and once the prosecutor also was like, there's I don't see anything wrong with granting bail. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so if you are a Twitter person like me, we're not Twilebs, we are Ugandans. How do they call us?
Ugandans on Twitter, UOT.
UOT. If you're part of the UOT, then you know that the free Mike Muhima hashtag really went ablaze. And today we are really trying to hear from what was behind this hashtag. For me, I was just assuming. Personally, I don't know. You might also be there and you're like me, you can listen to this story. So, you're back home.
Yeah.
Is this now the time? Is this now the after?
Yeah.
You're back home and life has continued?
I mean, yeah. I believe life has just carried on as it usually was. I resumed
so there's
work.
No other communication?
No, okay. I was supposed to. There was a trial date that was set for mid-June, but obviously due to the whole COVID thing and the past show and then full lockdown. That has been put on hold for now. So right now I'm not really sure, but yeah, all that's left is like a court case that is pending.
So now let's talk about the after effects of this whole thing. How I hear anxiety and the coping mechanism I had most was numbness. That's not easy, especially I think for you because you knew your constitution, you know the law, you know your rights as a citizen.
Yeah, that's true.
No, if they had grabbed me, my dear. Anyway,
Yeah.
but then you had a very supportive system.
Yeah.
Like you had a strong foundation of family and friends. So did you were not online? Did you have access to internet?
Okay, for the first, after the first arrest, like I stayed off the internet until around April. Then after the second one, it was like one day, and then I was back.
Was that voluntary?
Yeah, it was.
Why?
Because I didn't have a phone.
Oh, you didn't have a phone.
Yeah, they were confiscated. So, okay, it was
But
forced.
If you had
but
your
then,
phone,
if I had my phone, probably take a little less time much less time before I would go back online. Yeah.
So now you are a very influential person. You're a celebrity at 11, and you put a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
Are there times that you have see tweets in your drafts and like, do I want to go back? No? Do you have like those moments?
Okay, obviously there are times when you see something happening and you're like, man, what's this? You're like, what's this? Like, but then you want to I would like to give my opinion on it, but I do not want it to sound like I'm attacking anyone in person. Yeah, so I frame it in a way that is kind of encompassing the entire problem without really attacking, without really making it seem like it's a personal attack on someone, because that was basically what got me in trouble. Yeah, so I wouldn't say I watch what I tweet, but I am a bit careful. I'm a little more careful these days than I once was.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's good and then bad, because what I read from here, my other side of the world is kind of suppressing of freedom of speech, because
suppressing freedom of speech. That's the reality. That's the reality.
So right now you're fine. You don't get flashbacks. You don't get scared of, oh my God, this might be a car that's going to die.
Well, sometimes I do okay, I think not too regularly, but there are times when I have nightmares of me back in jail, in prison. What? I have dreams of myself in prison. And then obviously when I wake up and I find out and I realize that it's not the case, I'm relieved.
I'm sorry for laughing. But
no, it is actually.
So this dreams,
they
could actually turn into reality. Sometimes you'll not be sleeping, but you'll just imagine you're in prison.
It's usually not imagining. It's basically because it has happened twice in the past number of months that I've had such a dream. But then it was mainly dreams. It was mainly dreams. Yeah.
So you have no hatred for whoever put you behind the bars?
What do you mean?
What do I mean? Okay, how do you have no hatred for the person who put you behind the bars, or do you?
If you really want to know how I feel, then I don't know, we'd probably be in trouble, right? So let's
okay, but doesn't feel good about this. Just leave it.
That's it. Yeah. I do not feel good about them. I do not feel they did me justice.
Yeah, we live in an unjust world.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what have been your coping mechanisms?
Well, I have this thing that I keep telling myself and I keep telling the people around me. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Yeah, like if you're going to wallow, if you're faced with problem after problem after problem, and the only thing you're going to do is cry, then I don't know. I don't know if you're going to handle, this whole thing called life, because in life problems are not going to end. There's this meme on Twitter that is commonly used. It's like a video, and the guy in the video says, problems have come, problems are here. So it's up to you to learn how to cope with those problems. Yeah. And for me, in a way, I think the strongest coping mechanism for me is humor. Like I try to see the funny side of things, or the positive side of things. Like I think in the whole optimist pessimist spectrum, I lean more to the optimist side. Yeah, because if you linger more to the negatives, then I don't know how you cope.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Try and find
a positive spin,
somewhere.
Yes, somewhere in there.
So are there lessons you picked from this whole situation?
I mean, I did make friends in jail, like
who are out now?
Yeah.
Oh.
I did make one or two of them, yeah, and obviously the people that are in there, like when you get to know them, they're actually they're very good people. They're everyday people who maybe happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, or they were just caught in a very sticky situation and that's why they are here. Or maybe it was just like sheer, not necessarily a phase. Okay, yeah, probably a phase, but then it was also just sheer injustice that put them in that situation they're in, right at that moment.
Yeah. So you got friends.
Yeah, I made a few contacts. Yeah.
And life lessons.
Definitely there were a few life lessons.
Share with us so that you know.
Okay.
The viewers, so that maybe you could.
Okay. The first life lesson, I guess, would be, I guess respect people. I guess that would be the first one. Like, do not take them at face value.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because if you take time to interact with them. Obviously, as humans, we're usually quick to judge people that even we haven't spoken to yet, and that's fine. That's the way we are conditioned. But then you have to give people a chance to make a real first impression on you. Otherwise, your whole outlook on life is going to be really, really negative, and yeah, and you're very affected by that.
Okay, thank you, Mike, for sharing your story.
Thank you.
With Faraja TV, and with me, Edna. I've never been to prison personally, but I have known that when I get there, I'll be humble, but I don't think I'll get there. But if injustice
in
gets
case,
me there,
just in case.
Humility and respect.
Yeah.
Okay, those are very good life lessons, even in the real world.
Definitely.
Those are amazing life lessons.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, you the viewer, for hearing Mike's story. Thank you for watching Faraja TV and for following all the episodes of the Mental Health Show. Thank you for the comments. Keep them coming. And Mike, one last question. What advice do you give to somebody who has gone to prison, a young person like you, and Mike, who was just come from prison, and hates, or maybe is depressed, or maybe they have a support system like you do? What advice do you give them?
I guess what I would say is things can only get better from that point on. Like, it wouldn't hurt for one to have a positive outlook, regardless of what they've gone through. Yeah, because if you've gone through all that all that, and what you get from that is like, you know, negativity and hate and stuff. That will only put you down even more in terms mentally, emotionally. You'll just keep staying down even without the intervention of any sort of adverse forces. You are in charge of your life, obviously, from the time that you get out. So try to make the most of it, and yeah, basically just be positive. Be positive about everything. Have a positive outlook about most things, if I should say.
Be optimistic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your trait.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Even if I've never been to prison, I've taken this advice.
Well, I would recommend going there, like in case
no, I've
you do.
taken this advice, not for when I know I'm not going to go. Thank you very much. If you have reached this point of the show, we are closing, and don't forget to follow Faraja DTV on social media, on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and be sure to subscribe, like, and share for somebody that might need this video. Bye-bye.